over 55 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by the Georgia Farm Bureau in association with Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College.
All right, off we go. Thanks for tuning into the Farm Monitor. As always, Jennifer and I happy to bring you all the latest agribusiness news and features from the great state of Georgia and maybe the surrounding areas.
Yes, have camera, will travel. If you're new to the show, then welcome. Coming up, from managing wildlife to rebuilding after Hurricane Helene, forestry experts and students gathered in Griffin to chart the future of Georgia's top industry.
Also on the show, politics take a back seat to the barnyards in Perry as Georgia lawmakers go head-to-head in the show ring, all for a fun, hands-on look at what it takes to raise livestock and keep ag front and center. Plus,
well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick here. Coming up a little bit later, I'm hanging out in Plains, Georgia, and we're learning about cotton and peanuts and other things. And let me tell you, if you thought you knew everything there was to know about stink bugs and cotton, I got news for you. You probably don't, so you want to stick around for that. That and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
It was boots over business in Perry as Georgia lawmakers swapped the state capitol for the show ring. As John Holcomb shows us, the annual Legislative Livestock Showdown gave them a fun and sometimes messy look at what it really takes to raise champion animals and keep Georgia's top industry thriving.
Down in Perry, lawmakers from the state House and Senate put politics aside for a day of friendly competition, showing livestock in what's known as the Legislative Livestock Showdown. It's an annual event that's both fun and educational, especially for those who may not have grown up around agriculture.
The Legislative Livestock Showdown is an awesome opportunity for us as a department and also as an ag industry to bring in individuals that might not have participated in agriculture or FFA or 4-H growing up, didn't grow up on a farm, and show them, bring them to the fair and show them what agriculture truly means. The passion that our young men and women have, our 4-H and FFA kids, about agriculture and their projects and the livestock projects that they have and the role that the livestock industry plays in the state of Georgia.
For Representative Bethany Ballard, that's just the case. As she says, though she grew up around cattle, she never showed them herself. But as you can see, she had a blast competing in this year's showdown.
This was the most fun that I have had since I have been in the legislature. It was the best day. I'm so thankful for Stella from Perry High School, who was my coach today. Everything that happened was not her fault. She was the winner. She did a great job coaching me. I'm sure I just didn't do a good enough job. But it was so much fun, and I'm so excited to have done this because I've been so jealous of all the other people who got chosen the past few years. So I would love to do this every single year.
According to Ballard, getting to see firsthand just how much work and dedication livestock exhibitors put into their projects no doubt proves how beneficial these programs are to youth development, regardless of whether they choose an agricultural career or not.
It just makes me appreciate what all of these kids do. They work so hard. You know, they get way more than the hour of training that I got. They work on their animal all year long. They put in so much effort. It teaches them a marvelous work ethic. And even if they don't want to be a farmer, you know, in their grown-up life, whatever job they go into, they will have the best work ethic, and any boss would be lucky to have them.
Ultimately, that's what this event is all about. Making connections with lawmakers whose decisions directly impact Georgia's fairgrounds, livestock programs, and the ag industry as a whole.
The objective is just to make our colleagues aware of the great facility we have here in Perry and what they do here for our young people, showing animals, whether it's steers like today or sows and pigs and sheep. It's just a great program for our young people in this state, and that's what we're trying to highlight, the importance of this facility to our young people and ag education in our state.
Not only is it fun, not only is it exciting, not only do we have fun with it, and it's a competition between the House and the Senate, but more importantly, it's another way that we tell our story about agriculture put it in front of those individuals that are making those decisions under the Gold Dome. So when we have those conversations with them, they can relate in a way that they haven't been able to before.
Reporting in Perry for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Meantime, year in and year out, forestry is one of Georgia's top economic drivers, accounting for more than $42 billion annually. However, with the industry facing some major challenges, keeping up to date on the latest management techniques and trends is more important than ever. As Damon Jones reports, that was the main goal of the Agroforestry and Wildlife Field Day held in Spalding County.
It was a one-stop shop for everything forestry on the UGA Griffin campus, where professionals from all aspects of the industry were on hand to share the latest information to both veteran timber growers and those new to the business.
Well, from producer standpoint, it's, we've got a lot of professors out here that's got maybe some cutting edge techniques for management for wildlife and timber, to some traditional methods that maybe they're not used to. It could be that we've got some new landowners that just haven't had the opportunity to interact with professionals in the field of forestry and wildlife, get them some information that they may not have ever had.
We have a lot of great professionals, 30 different topics that are being spoke on, and they volunteer their time and come out here and have great expertise in what's up and coming. I know they're talking about some of the deer diseases that may be up and coming, beekeeping, chainsaw safety. There's a lot of great information here for people to learn and obtain.
It's been a challenging year for these growers, with 2 major paper mills in the state closing their doors and increased foreign competition. However, the biggest hurdle continues to be recovering from Hurricane Helene.
We've had worked with the Georgia Forest Commission, try to get some things taken care of, but since there was so much devastation across the state of Georgia, we're still in the planning stages trying to take care of things and do the best we can, but it's just an ongoing process with the people we have. Longevity is the key. We have always gone through tough times and come out.
Wildlife management was also a major focus of this event, as animals and forestry go hand in hand.
I've always been taught, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and so that's a great way to keep any recreation, people that like to hunt, people like just come out and visit, a great way to keep your stands up and keep them healthy. And wildlife tend to help you understand the health of the forest as well.
You can't manage forest without affecting wildlife, and you can't manage wildlife without affecting forestry, and so it's kind of a good opportunity to take both of them and show how forestry affects wildlife and what the benefits are, and vice versa, some different wildlife things that you may have to give on the forestry side in order to promote the various different species that you want.
With Georgia being the #1 state for commercial forestry, it takes more than 140,000 jobs to keep things running strong. It's why students from around the state were also invited to get a first-hand look at all of the career paths available within the industry.
We invited students to come out here because we want them to have the opportunity to be able to get an idea of what career opportunities there are in the outdoors and kind of what that looks like for them. And we just set the students aside for a few minutes to kind of talk to them about, one, what it takes to get into the schools, kind of those kind of ground expectations, as well as the opportunity for them to see what kind of career paths there are out there.
Reporting from Griffin, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick, coming up after the break, I'm hanging out in southwest Georgia and we're learning about 2 important insect pests that are impacting row crops and how an influential leader is responding to them after the break.
Jennifer Parson back with you on the Farm Monitor. Last year, 2 people were killed and 11 seriously injured in crashes involving farm vehicles in Georgia. According to the Georgia State Patrol, Bullock, Colquitt, and Tift counties have the highest number of slow-moving vehicle and tractor-related crashes in our state. Recently, the Georgia Office of Highway Safety held a press conference at the Georgia National Fairgrounds to remind drivers that you're not alone when driving along rural roadways. You're also in the workplace of farmers and producers, and what they do matters because it puts food on our tables and clothes on our backs.
I'm asking Georgians to put safety first and prioritize patience. When passing farm equipment, wait for a clear, safe time to pass, and only do so when it's legal and you have full visibility of what's ahead. Never let frustration lead to a dangerous decision. Being delayed for a few minutes is a small price to pay for a safe trip home.
Colonel Hitchens also said that data shows most crashes involving slow-moving vehicles or tractors occur on Wednesdays between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. A reminder for everyone watching to yield behind the wheel and share the road.
Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. Well, you're looking high above a beautiful field here in Plains, Georgia at the Southwest Georgia Research and Education Center. And this month, I'm joined by Scott Rogers. How you doing, Mr. Scott?
How you doing, Nick?
I'm great. I so appreciate you spending time with us today. Listen, we were talking before we got on camera, and you mentioned something to me that's going on here at the center that relates to stink bugs. And I thought, stink bugs? Stink bugs are in my house in Athens that fly around. I didn't know there's an association between stink bugs and cotton. Explain that to me. What's being studied here?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know stink bug is a huge pest. It's a huge pest in cotton, corn, and soybeans. We have to control. Been around a long time. You can see the flags down through here. This is Dr. Roberts laid off his, that's his plot links and everything.
Okay.
And that's what he is looking at right here is stink bug damage, and how to control them.
Now you were telling me, and you got a couple examples here in your hand, that the stink bug would fly over, and there are a couple of species you were talking about, but they'll fly over and they will use their mouth part, we're gonna call it, very sophisticated, and they will suck into that little cotton ball.
That's right.
And what you have in this hand is the result of when they do that.
Yeah, so what you're looking at here is a cotton boll. When you want to look for stink bug damage, you want to pull them about a quarter a size or less.
Okay.
You can see the outer damage with the little marks where they bit into the plant to get inside of the bowl.
Got it.
Okay. So once they get in there, and this is how you would actually test for it, you would open that bowl up and look for any discoloration, any hits on that cotton to make sure that that is actually what you were looking at.
They have sucked that out, and then when it does open up, this is how you know for sure, got them. They've
what
done
happens
that.
is then that allows pathogens and everything to enter that bowl, and this is the end result. When that bowl is fully mature and tries to open like a normal cotton bowl, this is the end result, which is very devastating to a grower.
Absolutely, and the economic impact of that, this is what's going on under Scott's leadership. So Scott, what I want to do now is I want to fly on over to another field. I want to talk peanuts and some of the research going on out here on peanuts. So let's go there now. Well, those two gentlemen you're seeing right there, I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to run into them because they're out here studying stuff with a pitchfork, and I'm so glad you put it down long enough, Jared. Hi, Jared and Evan.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for being out here with us today. So y'all, these are students, University of Georgia, Department of Entomology, studying peanuts, and in particular, studying rootworm on peanuts. Now, I gotta ask you, Jared, what about the rootworm are you interested in?
So looking at the rootworms, there's two species in Georgia, the southern corn rootworm, which has been native for as long as peanuts have been grown, and then the banded cucumber beetle, which is an invasive species that's currently taking over and being found in more areas than we're used to than the southern corn rootworm.
Now that rootworm, that banded cucumber beetle, that's the parent. That's what it grows up to be.
Yes, sir, that's the adult.
Interesting. Now I've got, Jarrett was so kind and gave me this before we started, gave me an example of a little peanut that's got some black dots on it.
Yes, sir.
That's where that little guy is drilling in, you're saying?
Yeah, that's where, so once they the adults lay the egg clusters in the soil, the larvae will feed and cause damage that looks like that in the peanuts.
Okay.
And if it's internal, it can cause it to fall off the peanuts and loss of yield throughout the season.
Now I understand that the University of Georgia is in some discussions about how to deal with this chemically, and I want to talk with the superintendent, Scott, a little bit about that. But it's so interesting to me that you guys were out here today being on television. I'm so glad you are. Yes, and it's great that you're studying this as part of your master's degree.
Yes, sir.
Really, really cool stuff. Oh, it is?
Yes.
And the dream job would be what?
Working for, crop consultant. Just help the farmers that way I can kind of do. That'd be fun.
So if you see anybody coming along with a television camera from here on out, you get back in the car and ride on off, all right? Guys, thanks for being out. It's great stuff. One of the things we've discovered today is so many of the problems that impact crops here in Georgia and across the Southeast. But one thing's for sure is the leadership of someone like Mr. Scott is so essential to staying up to speed on changes and adapting as we go along. Mr. Scott, how has the industry, how has your job in about the 8 years you've served as superintendent here, how has it changed, would you say?
It's just changed. Having to keep up with the labels, having to keep up with what's regulated, what's not regulated, what's available, what we can't use that we could use 8 years ago. Two chemicals that come to mind is the peanuts we're standing in front of right here. We lost chlorpyrifos this year, which we've talked about with rootworms. Is a rootworm, it's what we use to control rootworms. It went away on June the 30th of this year. A few years ago, we lost Tilt, which is a leaf spot control fungicide on peanuts. We lost it. Just knowing what's out there, knowing what's not out there nowadays, and what we can legally and not legally spray.
And being able to adapt. And isn't that, I think, what agriculture does best, is being able to adapt and change and respond to those environmental changes.
Yes, and you've always got to be thinking ahead, like I mentioned chlorpyrifos again. Already you're thinking about what can we do next year to try to help control rootworms. There's not much out there, but is there anything we can do that'll help us with no chemical on the market right now to control them?
Right, and without a crystal ball, knowing what's coming next, being able to adapt and react. That's why these jobs are so essential. Mr. Scott, thank you for today.
Thank you.
I had such a blast. Oh, I had a blast with you. I hope y'all enjoyed it too. You know what to do. Hop online, learn more about this Research and Education Center and what's going on in the College of Ag. Check out the Ranger Nick Facebook page while you're there. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, as I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here this time next month. See ya. Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious.
Nick Furman, everybody. Nick, thanks so much, buddy. Well, suffice it to say, one of our missions here at the show is helping you keep up to speed with any of the stories you may have missed on today's program or others, and that's what the Farm Monitor YouTube page is for. From inspiring farmer profiles to deep agricultural insights, there is something for everyone. Up next, when disaster struck, Georgia's forests took a beating. But 1 year later, the Georgia Forestry Commission shows what resilience really looks like. Finally this week, it's been just over a year since Hurricane Helene tore through Georgia's forests, toppling timber and leaving landowners facing an uncertain future.
In a new video, the Georgia Forestry Commission highlights a year of resilience, from storm cleanup to strengthening wildfire defenses. It's a testament to their mission to stand beside landowners and communities as they rebuild and protect Georgia's forests.
On September 26, 2024, Hurricane Helene tore across Georgia, one of the most powerful storms in decades. Winds and rains battered communities and forests, leaving behind devastation that stretched for miles.
I've been here a long time, and I've never seen damage like this before. My region is based out of McRae. We have 34 counties in Region 4, and all but 5 counties was in the path of Helene.
From the first hours after landfall, the Georgia Forestry Commission was there. Our mission: clear roads and restore a sense of safety in chaos.
Right after the hurricane hit, we started early. Nobody had cell service, and a lot of people didn't have power. Just getting down here was a challenge. The next 12 to 14 days were very long days. We worked nonstop. Never did I think I would see a bulldozer walking down the middle of I-16 pushing trees off the highway. There was numerous times the EMA directors would come up to us and they would find people that was still trapped. 8-9 days in, we would go break people loose where they could get out of their house and get the essentials: water, food. A lot of people was displaced. The power lines were on the ground, entangled in what we were trying to clean up. So That was another challenge. They actually put some power company folks with us because we didn't know if they were live or not. So we needed somebody with us to help us where we could help them. A lot of working together with different agencies. There's a lot of good work put in. It was a pretty long couple weeks, but that's the reason we're here. We're here to serve the citizens of the state of Georgia.
But the work didn't stop with debris. Over the past year, GFC has advocated for Georgia's landowners.
We saw a generation of timber on the ground overnight. Our foresters started working on the timber damage assessment throughout the area. We started partnering up with the Georgia Forestry Association and the University of Georgia, going around doing town hall talks. Our state legislators and our governor came in and provided opportunities through a fuel mitigation program and a fire break program, as well as a loan program. We had $135 million that was put towards the fuel mitigation program. $3 million was put towards fire break cleanup and restoration work because the wildfire threat will continuously increase if this fuel is just left there on the ground and not mitigated.
Downed timber left behind another danger, wildfire. To protect communities, GFC rangers have been restoring fire breaks across storm-damaged lands.
The last 2 months has kind of been a blur. We've put so many fire breaks in and cleaned out so many roads that it's unbelievable what's been accomplished.
Clean up fire breaks from after the storm, getting the debris out, and protecting trees, protecting properties. Just trying to make a difference.
The teamwork has been unreal. It's been one of those all hands on deck type incidents. Everybody's chipped in. There's days that we would have 30 to 40 tractors running at any one time. Foresters are doing a lot of cost share work. We've got people coming in from all over the state. Everybody in the commission has touched this in one way or another.
40,000 miles of roads were cleared by the Georgia Forestry Commission. In reference, that is 7 round trips to Seattle, Washington and back. We look at all the work that has been done since then through the fire break, installations, fuel mitigation work that's been done. Our rangers, our foresters are here to work for this state.
We have been here from the beginning and we will continue to be here. I want to say thank you to our employees and thank you to our forest landowners whom we serve.
Recovery is still ongoing, but the spirit of Georgia's people and the commitment to forestry remains unshaken.
We're working to take the next steps and help landowners through the Emergency Forest Restoration Program. So we're partnered up with the Farm Service Agency to institute that program. And that program is to help replant these areas that were so devastated by the impacts of Hurricane Helene. When the legislative session started, our senators and representatives came together and also started the Trees Act. That was a bill that created an opportunity for a state timber tax credit for landowners, and that also created tax ad valorem relief. What we're still currently working on is the block grant. We're in talks with the USDA, and we're working with the Georgia Department of Ag to help get that across the finish line and help get the crop loss payments out to landowners. That will also help them have funds to be able to replant and to continue forest management work on their properties. The devastation that Hurricane Helene caused, a lot of people looking for answers and looking for hope, and where did they go from here? And that's what the Forestry Commission's here for. We have professionals throughout the state who are there to help you make that plan for the future. We know this process is going to take 2 to 5 years, but we're here to help you along each of those steps of the way to continue to properly manage your forest, to improve the health of your land, and help it to bring a benefit to you and your family. The culmination of all our efforts together will help continue keep forestry strong in our state. We appreciate the opportunity we have each day to work with these landowners and the impact that we're having for forestry and for you. We know you make the difference, and we appreciate the opportunity we have to serve you.
Supporting our forests and those who care for them is our mission. Georgia Forestry Commission.
Incredible stuff. Our thanks to the Georgia Forestry Commission for providing us with that, and our thanks to you for making the show possible.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Have a great week.